I bet it.
So there I was, sat in pub, rubber-dub-dub with me great big tub. Saw this bird, I went and had a word, wanted to pull her like now Top said. I says, alright love, how's Vadu? I'm up for a bit. I says, how about you? And she turned round and walked away, and I mooned her and we all went, way.
Oh, wait.
Never gets
What
old.
is happening, people? Welcome to Yorkshire's Finest. My name is Jimmy, and your main host today is Cal Fowler, because my head is on Mars. Cal, how's it going, pal?
Absolutely fantastic. Also, just a quick disclaimer: we are going to talk about Wilder. Obviously, anybody in chat that thinks that we won't, we're obviously going to address it. Just because Jimmy's a Sheffield United boy from Wakefield, we are still going to address it. And he's talking about.
It does need talking about. We don't have to jump straight into it, but yeah, absolutely buzzing. And yeah, it's all happened very quickly. My intention was to watch some of these games that we're actually going to talk about, but because of everything that's gone off today, I'm blagging it. So talk to me, Cal, about Harrogate losing 3-1 at Swindon.
We'll get little tin pot sides out of the way, guys. No worries. Swindon are good. That's the only thing that I would say. Swindon are actually a good side. They've got that Palmer up front from Wrexham. I don't actually know if he's played in that one. But their incomings are actually decent for League Two. They'll be up there.
Okay, Harrogate struggling out there.
They're always going to do, aren't they? Because that's just nature of what they are inside the club. Come on, let's get on next one.
Okay, get on next.
Sorry, Harrogate fans. Any of you that exist.
Let's not pretend we're interested in what
Harrogate come on, get that shit off screen.
So this, for anybody that's interested, thank you to everybody that's joined us. But there is a calling element. When we're talking about your club, if you want to jump in, there is a call. It will take one call per club. You don't have to phone in. It's not a big thing, but there is the option there if people want to do it. Next up is the Millers, mate. What is happening to these boys? Because I know neither of us rate Matty, I'm sure.
No.
But the fall from Rotherham is pretty sharp. Losing 2-1 at Wimbledon. What we're saying?
Yeah, but I think Wimbledon aren't bad though. Seriously, I know you just probably look at it from outside because you're not going to watch League One, are you? Really?
No.
Like you naturally watch where your team is and upwards. Like I don't watch League Two, but if we were in League Two, I would. So you're not gonna know just by looking at badge and name. You're not going to rate them as much, and they come up from League Two. But they are honestly Wimbledon, not a bad side. They bet us at their place. That's his only loss so far.
Is that the gauge?
No, but I think that's the only game that we've not scored in about 40. Like they are seriously a decent side. They're good on set pieces. But Rotherham's top goal scorer is Nombe with 2, and he's played twice, I think. He's been injured for ages. They're just crap up front. They've got note.
Yeah, I don't rate them. I think they're in trouble. I think there's a real possibility they could be involved in bottom 4 come end of the season. But we'll
1,000,000%. They'll finish like bottom 6, definitely.
Yeah, they're struggling. A surprise result this next one. Donny going down 3-0 to Wigan, and I appreciate Wigan are a decent side as well. But Donny have been flying. Obviously, recently promoted, but. How has this result come about?
I mean, Wigan at home, again, they're another one. They're not going to have the points away that's going to push them into any sort of conversation, Wigan, I don't think. But at home, you could probably count on one hand how many sides will go there and win. I think you're probably looking at the proper top sides, like a Cardiff or something. And I'm not going to say Barnsley just because you'll laugh, but like a Cardiff or a Bolton.
top side, like
one of top dogs, one of big lads for this division. I'd probably go there and win. But I think Donny... They've got to sort of reel their expectations in a little bit because they've just come up from League Two. But there's still an outside chance. I just don't think many teams will go to Wigan and win. They're just not a bad team again.
It's been a really poor collective weekend for Yorkshire sides this past weekend. Gone. Harrogate lost 3-1. Rotherham lost 2-1, obviously. Donny lost 3-0. We'll cover it next.
Got our Kez.
Barnsley. Book the trend and win 3-2 at home to Reading. What were atmosphere like at game, Cal?
Loved it. Honestly, it was great. Probably the best ever. I didn't go.
Best you've ever witnessed,
guys. Yeah, I didn't go to the game, guys. I'm a part-time. I'm dog shit. Get your jabs in. I've got a life. But yeah,
like you saddos that go to football.
Yeah, you losers that go and watch football. Imagine make a career out of that. Yeah, Reading. I think Reading were just crap by the sounds of it. And we weren't exactly lightning, but we still scored 3 goals. And I think it makes it look closer than what it were. really. I think we probably did deserve win just from what I've been told by people who actually went and 9 minutes of highlights on YouTube. But we're third in the league. We're a game in hand for a reason. We are a good team.
You are a good team, and you've said it all season that you think you'll be up there, but you say that every season. So you can sort of forgive me for not believing you this year as well. But you've started well, mate. And look, you've got the magic man, haven't you? So while ever he's about, the man who we named the award after, then you're gonna have half a chance, aren't you?
Apparently that was his best game. People were saying, and it would be one that I weren't there for.
Yeah,
but we've got like
you don't, do you? So
coming through. Oh, shut up, man. Even some of the youngers that we've got coming through look like seasoned pros. I know I could probably make the comparison to you last season because you didn't have the depth there, really, did you?
No.
So you've sort of had to just bring players through, like Peck, for example, or Arbor stood out anyway. But some other young'uns, that's what we've done with. Yes, Ricky. That's what we've done with Bland, who plays at middle at park for us, 19. He is ridiculously good. Some young'un called Yoga Nathan. Obviously, Jallo's the bigger name, but he's injured at the minute. So we've got the right mix. I think we're doing it. I'm not even holding. I'm not pulling my punches anymore. I think we're going top 2. Seriously.
6 games in.
Yeah, I don't give a monkeys. 8 games. 7 games for us, actually.
7 games for you. Oh, yeah, game in hand. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about championship who have international breaks. But listen.
We had ours called off as well, have you know?
Did you? Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. For internationals.
Yeah.
Who's that centre half that were he on loan at Bradford last year? Shepherd. How's he doing?
He's doing all right, to be fair.
I know you rated him, didn't you? You were looking forward to him playing for you. So I didn't know whether he'd done a job.
Him and Earl are both left-footed, but we're shifting to a back three anyway. So Shepherd were middle centre-back over 3 for Bradford. And he starts on right for us, but comes into middle anyway for it. We brought Jake Rooney in a centre-half from Derby on loan. I do think Uren's probably waiting for a reason to put him in. Just don't know which one to put him in over Earl or Shepherd. Because that is definitely still the weakest point of us, the defensive side of things.
Interesting. But you kept your core, haven't you? DKD didn't go to Sheffield United for £5 million like you were saying he'd cost, which would never.
He owed me £1,000.
Never. I owe you £1,000. Look, biggest game for Yorkshire sides in League One. Huge clash. Bradford against Huddersfield Town. Bitter rivalry between the Bantams and the Terriers. Surprised at this. I mean, I know Bradford are riding a bit of momentum, but Huddersfield fancied this year. Did this surprise you, pal?
Yeah, I went for a draw in it. But Huddersfield, because obviously we played them other week. They bet Peterborough at home, I believe, 3-2 in game after us. But the same problems are there that were shown in this game as there were when they played us. I do think they get overrun in middle and they can't really get a foot on. They're not controlling 10-point bigger games, Huddersfield. They are against a lot of poorer sides, but in ones that matter so far, every time I just think they look void of ideas, really. They look like they've only got one way of playing and it only works when they're favourites for it. But Bradford are a good team, like not to take anything away from them and just talk about the negatives for Huddersfield. Bradford are a good side, very good side.
Yeah, I think there'll be no danger of Bradford getting in any trouble this year. I know you'd said that originally when with some teams that came up from League Two. You think they'll go well this season?
Oh, I think all 4 stop up.
So
they look good.
But Huddersfield, I mean, we set amount they've spent. They've lost some big hitters as well. We talked about that last time we were on. But they're expected to be challenging at top end at league. And if they can't dominate everybody in the league like they're expected to do, maybe that's something that Grant, a new manager, has to look at, and maybe how can he adapt now to breaking teams down in different ways. Though, is it?
They don't adapt. They expect players to adapt to their system, whatever it is.
Well,
I could not have told you what Huddersfield's game plan were against us. There were no patterns of play or anything. They liked playing it out from back the initial phase, but then I couldn't tell you what they were doing after that.
Well, that's the story of a Sheffield United fan, to be honest, with Ruben Sayers, but obviously we'll come on to that. It's frustrating more than anything else. So there's no point having ball just for having ball's sake, is there? You've got to do something with it. You've got to make it work for you. And there's sides that have been known for being better without the ball and can still punish you. So Huddersfield need to sort of pull it together a little bit if they're going to continue to stay at top end at league, particularly with quality of player that they've got. So moving to Championship then. Hull went to Swansea and drew 2-2. One of them, innit? One of them.
It is one of them. McBurney, you've dropped a ball at York. You know, if Wilder had stayed, I think you'd have brought him back.
I do.
He's a good player. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists in 5 games.
I know what he's got. And
if you play to his strengths.
To be fair, we'd have offered him a similar deal it wouldn't have been our number one striker, but I think he'd have come back for Wilder.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I agree with you.
So yeah, we've dropped one there. They've got John Egan playing for him as well. I think John Egan scored as well.
Yeah.
They've got John Lundstrom playing for him. It's old Sheffield United boys getting the band back together, and it makes you keep half an eye on them. There's some Egan and McBurney particularly. Sheffield United fans like them, so we've nothing. We don't wish them any ill or anything like that. We just want to beat them when they come to our place. But yeah, Swansea are a decent side. I think that's a good point for Hull. To be honest, I think Swansea will go all right this season. But like we said, it's one of them. Now, what about one of these?
Do you not think this is just sad at this point? It's getting a bit like when the 3-0 up in here for an hour, weren't they? And the proper took foot off, and that was sad actually, because they could have proper got the goal difference up there.
See, it's all right. It's all right, me, because I'm sat here laughing, and my result's coming next, and everybody knows what our result was. So that's who am I to laugh at anybody at the moment? We are bottom at table below these lot. But these won't move at relegation zone this season. No. Whereas we're now obviously hoping that things change, and we will. But they're in all sorts of bother, these lot.
We're just going to end up saying the same things every week, aren't they? The starting 11's crap. Even like the seasoned pros that they've got there are crap. I couldn't tell you. I've not watched the full 90 of them yet. Apart from the Leicester game, and they looked all right in that one.
Yeah.
That's odd. That was the best game by a mile. It can't be fatigue yet. You've just come off an international break as well. So you can't even blame it on that, really.
They've no depth, have they? They've no sort of...
Yeah, but the 3-0 down in half an hour. That's the strongest 11.
Yeah, I know.
They took the foot off. They're just passing it right back for an hour and a half.
Who would have thought that Cardiff's third choice keeper from League Below wouldn't have been a decent replacement for Pierce Giles?
Tell me about it.
I know.
What Baz is doing.
One of them, mate.
He's still there, Baz. I don't know. Normally, they're pulling up all these stats all the time. Best player ever in Championship.
Oh, Bazza?
Yeah.
He'll pull him out of danger, though. Don't you worry. He's. Look, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about this next one.
Well, you're fed up. you just want to move on and talk about Wilder. Let's skim through all these.
I was fed up. I was really fed up. But to be fair, a lot of fans were sort of jokingly saying thank you, Ipswich, because this will certainly do it. This will kill him off completely. Yeah. You never want to see your side lose, but this was the turning point. Obviously, there has been big change. In fact, we've got a caller waiting in the background. So if we want to talk about this game, we might as well get him on.
Yeah, get him on.
Of Blades Ramble fame, I have to say. It's Jamie Dumpling. How's it going, Jamie boy?
Afternoon to you both.
Hey,
afternoon. All right, Dumpers. So what have you got to say about Ipswich and the Ipswich game, which we're talking about? And obviously, we'll let you have a little word about the real reason you've probably called in. So go on then, pal.
I mean, I went to the Ipswich game, so, a rough trip back. To be honest, I think it's sort of already been sort of aware, but everyone in the fan base were sort of backing the players more than anything. And it was Sellers is the afterthought. There were boos for him, but the first thought was clap the players, get them going, because they're not going to be the ones that get sacked.
Were that throughout the game, Jamie? Were that after the final whistle when everybody thought, oh, well, he's definitely going to get sacked now, so we'll cheer the players and pick them up? But were they cheering the players throughout the game when we're losing 5-0?
Yeah. It's throughout the game we were cheering players. We were mostly applauding players like when they came up for a corner, which was, I think, once, in fairness. It was United chance to back them. I think we sang win, lose, or draw chant for about 20 minutes.
Well,
so I think the resounding case in the fan base was get behind these lot, because when Sellers does go, these are still going to be here. So do not give them grief.
You know what it was for like outside perspective looking in? I think you'd lost as soon as lineup come out.
Oh yeah.
As soon as you see him on pitch, none of them players are looking at this and thinking, how are we supposed to win this game when player at season sat on bench? You just lost.
And Ty Campbell, top goal scorer, sat on bench as well. And you think, what is he doing?
You can understand Cannon wanting to give Cannon a run out in his own position, but when you've got somebody that's miles better than him on bench, why bother?
From an outside perspective, then, Cal, do you think? Because me and Jamie have talked about this quite a bit, obviously, and gone over it. We're fine tooth comb a little bit, but From an outsider's perspective, looking at Sheffield United, do you think the players have to share some a bulk at obviously they share some, but a bulk at responsibility for what's happened this season, or do you sort of give them a little bit of a pass because Sayers has sort of scrambled their heads with a bit of nonsense?
No, I think it's an even split between the three things, isn't it? Really, because your ownership, I think your ownership are probably the biggest ones here, especially for the first 3 games. He never really had a chance to do. He weren't brought his own players in time, so you're playing with what's left of the shell of a squad from last season, taking out all the best players apart from Hamer. So I think there's a large part at blame on that. But then I think Sellers isn't a good fit for you, is he? And I feel like the statement that you've come out with saying a different change of style was something that we're after. And I think probably they will go to that again at some point based on how that statement's read. But it's not a good fit for you at minute and with them group of players. So I feel like he was fighting an uphill battle anyway. And something that he couldn't. You're like following Elvis, aren't you? At your place, it's just. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's an equal share of blame between three.
Fair dues. Jamie, go on then. I'll let you have a little word on the Messiah returning.
Oh God,
it's a great decision, and I'm really glad they've done it as quick as they have done, and they've taken blame for ownership. They've said, "Our fault. We're responsible for that." And fair play to them, as you can only say that. Absolutely fair play to them, because it takes a lot for someone with that much power and that much money, especially running a whole football club, to go, we got it wrong. So fair play on that front. And I think it's the way they've gone about it, because from some things they've kept the same contract. They must have been on the knees begging him to come back. They must have said, please, we need you. You're the man to do it, please. Like, bring him in, just
long term
up his house.
Well, this is the problem, Cal, and this is what I've briefly spoken about before the decision was definitely made or confirmed, and since as well, really, because I've just been live now talking about it after we were confirmed. We have to think about life post Chris Wilder, and we have to set up the team and the structure of the club so that we are not in this position again. This will be the third time we've brought him in, and every time he's left, we've been all at sea. Everything tends to crumble because he's so central to everything. Not only are we talking about something like a technical director or a director of football that can have that continuation, but we need like a succession plan of young coaches coming through or something like that, so that we can have a conveyor belt of coaches like we do with players in academy. We need something as a longer term plan that can be built with Chris Wilder still in place, rather than what we tried to do, which was, right, get rid of him, and then we'll get an head coach in, a director of football, and we'll go vertical football, we'll do possession bit, all this sort of rubbish, trying to change everything. I think we need to go back to basics, get him in position, and then try and build around him, so it's not going to be a harsh break next time.
That sort of existed before, Jim, with Eke, because he was U21's manager, and then they promoted him as initially interim, and then they got Slav, and that was just a mess in itself.
Why do you think it's a thing with your club then that you can't get past something like that? That you've got to have somebody within to take over. It's like Brentford.
Look at Man United and Fergie though. That's prime example of it. You go off someone that ran the
Fergie
club.
were half decent. Is different.
He's half decent for us as well, though. In fairness,
Jamie,
it's like you're all with half your players.
Chris Wilder and Sir Alex on a pedestal.
I won't know where to put them, to be honest. But it's not necessarily that it can't be anybody but Wilder, or it's why have we gone so different every time? We went from Chris Wilder to Slavisa Jokanovic, completely polar opposite of type of manager. Then we've gone from Chris Wilder to Ruben Sayers, completely polar opposite again. Why don't there? It doesn't have to be Chris Wilder. I'm delighted it is in this instance. It doesn't have to be somebody that comes through. This is more idealistic I'm talking about, or at least us having a plan for it. But if there isn't anybody that's ideal for that sort of scenario, then why not go after a manager that's in a similar mould to the Chris Wilder, or even just move slightly away from what he is? Even if you're trying to change it over time, it doesn't have to be complete opposite end of the spectrum. And I think that's what's done us previously, rather than it just being, we have to go back to Wilder. We do now because it's all gone to pot. And and we've lost 6 on spin. And looked awful doing it as well. So
7 if you count pre-season.
all right, Jay. All right. Anything else you wanna cover while you're on, Jamie?
No, just glad he's back. To be fair, it we needed, and it's a good thing that they've got him in for a home game first. I think.
Yeah, agreed. It's going to be rocking on Saturday, isn't it? Because we'll go, won't we, Jamie? We'll be at our own games.
Yeah.
We're not between away games. It's dawn of time. Here we go.
Yeah. The man from Wakey goes to more games than the man from Barnsley.
Right. Well, that is absolute
Jamie, fact, he comes on here, Jamie Dumpling, spitting facts. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I bet he doesn't know.
Cheers, Jamie Dumpling. See you, pal.
Nice one. Balls. We're capital B. I'll tell you what, you are on for the mother of all bouncers, though, on Saturday. If you do not win that game, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, that has got a bit most backed game, and it surely we've played Charlton at home. Look, Charlton have recruited well, and I think in the Championship this season, the weaker teams, or you'd expect to be the weaker teams, will be the 3 promoted teams in usual circumstances. We've got Birmingham, who have spent a fortune, Wrexham, who have chucked a load of money at it as well, not playing that well, but chucked a load of money at it, and Charlton, who have quietly gone about their business really well as well. Yeah. So they've bought a little bit of Luton Town, a little bit of here, there, and everywhere. I think they've strengthened quite well, and it won't be an easy game, but they will be absolutely bricking it now in terms of be like, why us? Why did they sack him now? Why didn't they just leave it another game or so?
But what I would say, I don't think apart from the Saturday game, I do think you'll win. I don't think you can just go like this, though, and then there's some magic fairy that's going to come and make you win all your games and turn everything around. Do you know what I mean? You're a wise man, Jim. You've been about a long time. Like, surely you're not going to...
21 years, mate. 21 years.
You're not going to think that, we're going to win 6 on bounce now and just be straight back in there. Surely.
We'll go to Oxford after that.
That ain't an easy game.
It's not an easy game, but no away game's easy, is it? Let's be right. So
exactly.
You wouldn't want Southampton away next, but then we've got Southampton at home after that. So it don't. There's no easy game in Championship. We know that. I try and cast your mind back, Cal, if you can, to what it's like playing in Championship, but there ain't an easy game. I genuinely think with Wilder in charge, I've got my eye on playoffs. I have. Where do you honestly think we could? What do you think we could do this season? I heard you say the other day mid-table. I heard you say mid-table.
Playoffs now.
Oh, so you fluctuating then up and down, are you now? Because
that is what you do. Have to, like, you give football opinions and they do change.
That 2 days ago. You
didn't have Wilder 2 days ago.
You knew it was happening. You messaged me. You messaged me saying, "Is it happening?" And I said, "Yeah."
Yeah. I've not given my view on it after that. This is the first time I've given my view on Sheffield United since, apart from the TikTok that I did on earlier, guys.
Okay, fair dues. What's Kaz reckon to it?
They're loving it, I think.
Are they?
How can you not? He's best manager ever, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Wilder. Oh my God, he's the best.
You don't have to be upset about it.
He is the best. Chuck loads of brass at it in League One and made it look easier than it were.
Oh, did he? How much brass did he chuck at it?
I don't know. Let me just make some up off top of my head.
Right, well, we'll move on for a minute and then we'll jump into some comments as well because we've burned through some of these. But last one to cover is
oh, that were absolute cinema. That were great. I'll tell you what, I checked Connor's live immediately. I went back and checked it straight away.
I did, and then is his microphone broke? I'm going
to sit live for 3 minutes in disbelief.
He's just sat there.
I said it a few weeks ago. They're finishing last. 100%. They are. I've said it to Connor. I said it on his channel. I think they'll finish last.
So with Prem teams, obviously, stakes are the highest there will be. They will sack Farker if it carries on.
Yeah.
That is another chance for them to spike in it and get if they get an appointment right. But who's going to go in there? Who's going to go in there?
The best bet's Dash, because Nuno's not going there. He'll go to West Ham, you'd think.
Yeah.
I think your best bet is a Dash or Mourinho and just play into that sort of pantomime bill. I think, go for something like that.
Mourinho won't go to Leeds.
Why not? What's his next job going to be? He's been sacked in Turkey.
Mourinho can't go to Leeds. I like Mourinho.
You know what? I think I'd still like him because he'd take him down anyway. So I'd really like him, actually.
Mourinho in Championship.
Oh, God. But yeah, every mistake you make gets punished, doesn't it, in Premier League? You know, you saw it 100 and what? How many times in Premier League when you last there? 100 and what? It was record.
104.
Oh, is that it? Sorry, I
It's
thought
not
it wasn't that.
listen, it's different to 1997. You know, it's not.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't even scratching my dad's ball sack at that
There you
point, so I
go.
couldn't tell you.
There you go.
But yeah, good
John
header from
Hendry.
Matt Goodmanson, whatever he was called.
Yeah, what a good
fullback.
header. Honestly, this league is brutal, absolutely brutal. We saw it with Burnley as well. Hannibal couldn't happen to a nicer guy, but he turns his back in penalty area, and it's a penalty to Liverpool at last minute. And
that notion that Burnley deserves something, by the way, is lunacy.
Yeah,
how can you say they deserved it? They didn't have a shot.
Yeah, it's unlucky because they held out for so
It's
long.
unfortunate. Yeah,
It don't mean they deserve. Oh, does it? Yeah, exactly right.
Well, you're supposed to pick your wins up playing like that, and they're all same. They all just defend for their lives. Especially like anytime you're not playing someone who's going to finish in bottom 6, like Sunderland away at Palace, they just sat 11 men behind ball all game.
Yeah.
You can't win games. You're just heading for the same fate.
Is it bottom 3? Do you reckon? Top 3 that came up? Is it going to be bottom 3?
I want Sunderland to do it. I genuinely do, and I'm like rooting for him. But I think it's same 3 in reverse order. I think it goes Leeds, Burnley, Sunderland.
I'd be really interested to see who Leeds bring in, because I think they will sack Farker probably sooner rather than later. But will they go for like a foreign appointment that's, untested in Premier League, or do they go for a Dyche who's been there, done it?
But I think they've got to beg even somebody like Dyche, because he's not going to want to come into a relegation nailed on, is he?
Where else is Dyche going to go though?
We
were after Dyche, and I'm telling people that because I thought there's no way Sean Dyche comes to Sheffield United. The argument is, well, with this squad and Ruben's terrible record, he can make us look decent. He can make himself look really decent by turning us around. I understand that, but he's not going to get another Premier League offer other than somebody that's either Burnley or Leeds.
But why? Why do people think this about Dyche?
About what?
That he's not going to get a Prem job.
Well, I don't think he will, though. I don't think he will.
For what reason? I don't understand the reason for this. I'll tell you what, I could see him with Rangers. Could really see that.
Yeah, I could see him going to Rangers.
But I think it's Prem or one of them two.
He's not a fashionable appointment, is he? Nuno will
keep him in Premier League.
People, I know that. I'm with you. People turn their nose up at Sam Allardyce all them years. I won't have him now, but Sam Allardyce were in the same position a few years ago where he used to keep everybody up. David Moyes is same. As soon as he gets a couple of bad results, people will be calling for him out because they'd prefer somebody like a Nuno. Nuno will get a job before Sean Dyche gets a job, I think.
Oh, yeah, but Nuno's a miles better manager than Dyche is. Nuno's a fantastic manager. But I still think Dyche gets he gets a good Prem job. No, I'm not saying a top one, but I think he could get say if Wolves or somebody. I could see something like that.
I hope he does. Because I agree with you. I think he's that sort of caliber. I have my doubts that the clubs would look at him with the same sort of merit as we do. Because if you're a Wolves fan, would you be excited about Sean Dyche coming in?
I'd be excited about the chance of staying in Premier League. Oh, yeah, but they're not going to get Nuno. I think well, maybe they could if they act now. But I don't think they'd tap the manager now. I'm just saying that for like a future potential. But West Ham, I think Potter's nailed on soon, and it makes sense. I'd just bite bullet now and get him in if you can. I
think Nuno to West Ham is pretty much it writes its send on it. I think.
Yeah, and it'll have him top half by end of the year. He's a great manager. He did with Wolves year on end. He's got Forest the first finishing or the best finishing 30 odd years.
So who do Leeds get? That's the question, isn't it?
Not asked.
No.
I couldn't give a box.
Mate, we need to think about a major thing now, because you said to me, I don't know whether it was before we came on or we just came on.
This is easy.
Who's getting your Diddy Award this week? Why is it easy?
Come
on. It's Barnsley.
No, it's not Barnsley.
All right. As long as it's not Barnsley, it's got to be this, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's Bradford and Bobby Poynton.
Bradford and Bobby Poynton gets the Diddy Award. Yeah, Bobby Poynton, lifelong Bradford supporter, isn't he? To be fair,
he said in an interview afterwards, some of his mates were Huddersfield fans, and they're in away end, and he was going past them, getting him like big, and when he was pointing at him in crowd when he was running off,
celebrating. There'd be no better one there.
That would sting. Yeah, give him a crap when you're next to him.
I tell you what, some flex that in it, being able to
go out when you're running past.
Yeah. Oh, mate. So, yeah, I think it's a layup, to be honest. I thought you might be arguing for your boys, but Bradford...
Nah, we're winning every week. It loses its value.
give them a slap about when they think they're going to be top at league this year. I think, yeah, Bradford, well worthy. And Bobby Poynton, to be fair to him, he deserves it just on that tell you've just told us there, to be fair. So
it loses its value, though. We can't get to like Barnsley every week because we're going to win every week. So it's like Man City. You can't get Pep manager at month when he's got best team. I'm saying.
that's true.
Context.
Context. I like it.
Right, let's go on with Wilder. Come on, let's waffle about this fat bastard for half an hour.
Talk to me about him, mate. What do you think? What do you want me to say? What do you want to say? 'Cause I love him. You know I love him.
What?
Do you know what? Can I just say something else as well? Jimmy, you've gone dingle again, says Rich. So last time we were on, people were saying I'd gone more Yorkshire, like broad. I assume West Yorkshire because I was talking to you. But
yeah.
I listen. I know I listened back, and I was. So I'm more conscious.
Like
I'm more conscious. It's like your phone voice, isn't it? But in reverse. But
well, I'll tell you what. In COVID, because my dad's accent is miles worse than mine. Like he says "watter" and stuff like that. He's just taking piss.
Does he say the and that?
No, he says "d" and "da." No, but like when we're in COVID, and I would have stuck with him all the time. I started just waffling. We weren't even speaking English by end of it. We're just speaking gibberish, throwing up hand signals. I couldn't understand each other anymore.
So there I was, sat in pub, rubber dub with me great big tub.
But yeah,
mate. I'm not having this, by the way. The ham sandwich is back from Teeny Toast.
Yeah, I've seen that, by the way. Thank you, Mr. Toast. Kiss.
Yeah. What? Oh yeah. Let's have a look. He's
and 36 Ethan 22 kiss.
Yeah, a couple of super chats to Cal. Thanks very much, everybody. Love watching Barnsley from down under, says 36 Ethan.
You're not the only one. I know some Barnsley fellas down under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, players.
Some lads have gone. Players, no, I don't think. Maybe Ian Hume's out there.
Right. Come on then. Talk to me about what you think about Chrissy Wilder going back in.
Where do we start? Shall we start with negatives first of it? And then we can like end up positives for your side.
Yeah, I can bat them away and then we'll.
Right, okay. I worry for the long-term future of your club.
Okay, why?
The way that it were worded, they are definitely going to go back to a seller's time manager after Wilder, aren't they? He's got a two-year deal. You disagree straight away?
Disagree straight away. Just because that was them not saying, well, for now it's all right, but we will come back to it. What they said was following a different. While the adoption of a different style of player was pursued with ambition, results have clearly not met expectations. And on that, you are saying, right, well, Wilder's not long for United job then.
We are confident he is the right person to restore momentum, unite the squad and supporters, and deliver the results necessary to achieve our objectives this season. There's no. If
you emphasise this season, then yeah, but that could just be we want to achieve our objectives this season.
I think the easiest way to look at this is they would not sack a man that got 92 points unless they were clear that they wanted to change the identity of a team. And
well, they did.
Go on.
They did want to change the identity of the team. No doubt about it. They wanted to go in a different direction. There's things about Chris Wilder that don't sync up really well and sort of fit with a corporate structure. Chris Wilder is abrasive at times. He's his own man. He's headstrong. He don't mind biting back and saying, well, why or no or whatever it might be, because he thinks he knows best. There's a lot of qualities that some Sheffield United fans love about him. Some find frustrating about him. The disciplinary record last season were really poor, and he was part of that because he was seeing
it plays into it though. That's what he is.
He does play into it. The sausage roll stuff, fans loved it. It's not great look for the club, if you're honest. So it's one of them things that you can understand why they'd want to move away from that and sort of have their own, not their own man who's going to, because he looks good and he carries himself okay, old Ruben Sayers and all this sort of thing. But they wanted a different structure in place where it wasn't a centralized one powerful man.
Yeah, I get that. But I think the play style thing in general, again, because they could have gone for somebody like you said that fits Wilder's play style, if nothing else. You don't have to have a man that has the power like Wilder, but you could still have a similar play style. Yeah. And I go back to like just easiest example that I can make with us. When we got into championship playoffs a few years ago with Ismail, it was most one-dimensional Route 1 footballer all time. And we went to a completely contrasting play out front back style of football. And his owners come out and said it's because it makes your players look better and you can charge more money for them. And I'm just thinking from non-footballing people that your owners have got, long term, is that what they see it as being?
it's a concern, but it could also be initial naivety in terms of what they need for a successful football club, couldn't it? They admittedly do not know the game. I think a big concern of Blades fans and myself is who are they surrounding themselves with, who's advising them on who, because they are businessmen and not football fans, so they want this to work. But they've seen a model that got 92 points, so in essence, in many ways, worked last season, and they thought naively, well, this squad must be good enough. And if we can just make a few tweaks or change how we want it to be and maybe support him with high potential players and things like this and go on a data model like the Moneyball thing, I think it's been supremely naive from the owners. And I think they've seen it. We saw the first change in the transfer market when we stopped going for these data-driven signings like Tyler Binden, Louis Barry, in terms of first team players, Samari in terms of somebody who Sayers wanted, but we were getting those like Nachukwu and all these players that you pay 1-2 million quid for that nobody's ever heard of. And we're sat here going, what is going on here? We've lost an Elak Medodzic, we've lost Vinny Souza. We need to be all loan players like Brereton Diaz and Raksaki have gone back. We need to be replacing big hitters. And we switched in transfer window, and you could tell. A lot of people were saying it were a panic move. And even if it was, it don't matter because ultimately you've got players in that we needed. Somebody like Tanganga, we talked about it on last one when we talked about the ins. Tanganga is a game changer at this level for us. It keeps us competitive at the top end of the division.
He'll have armband on soon.
Yeah, probably. If me don't get a start, then Tanganga's likely going to wear armband unless Wilder keeps it on Gus. So there's all sorts of keeping Gus Amer. There's all sorts of these things that it looked like a Wilder type window towards the end, and there's been some speculation from some people that he may have had some involvement. And then the biggest decision was going back to Wilder, and I think you can either look at it as a flaw from owners, or you can look at it as a big strength in terms of humility and eating humble pie, really, that they got it wrong. Because this is the biggest admission of them saying, look, we messed up here, and he's clearly the man to take us back, because it had been so easy for him to sack Ruben Sayers because it's clearly not working. To the point of Michael Carrick or Gary O'Neill, somebody who's...
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. I'm just thinking long-term after Wilder's properly done. That's what I think, because I see people talking about, like, go and get Chris Morgan and Billy Sharp and all these fellas so that you can... You're not I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but you're not the only club that has, like, some identity like that. And I just think that a lot of your fans, especially like Twitter fans, which just aren't real people anyway, but a lot of them speak like, oh, we need someone that gets Sheffield United to be successful. And I just think that's balls.
Yeah, I
really
agree with that. I think we've been spoiled with Chris Wilder being our manager.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you get somebody who's not only a massive fan of the club like he is, because he'd be in the stands if he weren't in dugout, but also as successful as him. So having that marriage of him leading us as one of us has brought a really special connection between everybody at the club with him leading us. So, and we have been spoiled by that, undoubtedly. And we are going to have to readjust when the time comes that he's not manager. When we've done it, though, it's been such a harsh transition away from what we know. There's nothing that links Ruben Sayers to Sheffield. He didn't buy into the culture. You talk about there's not just Sheffield United who have got that sort of identity. That's all we want. We want to keep our identity as a club. We want to keep the DNA and what we recognise our club to be. So the players, there were a huge disconnect again. And it felt like we were all drifting. The fans weren't interested.
Yep.
And this is in 6 games. It's
yeah, no, I know what you mean. I'm the exact same. We never played 3/5 at back, and we've done it for the last few years. And we're now in a similar position to you. Obviously, Urian is not from Barnsley. But as someone who played for us and is one of the best players that a lot of younger fans are seeing. Yeah, he does get it. And he said that a few times. He's like, I don't know why we're playing 5 at back when this club needs wingers to get people off the seat and stuff like that. And it works straight away. So I understand what you're saying with that. But I just think it's ridiculous to suggest that you need someone like Billy Sharp to come in and be successor to it.
It's because we're used to it. And it's something we're going to have to get his heads around that.
But again, Eki weren't, I know he come from under 21s, but he's a Barnsley fan. He's from Barnsley.
Yeah. That's right.
Do you know what I mean?
So Chris Morgan. You know, he's a Sheffield United legend.
Fan, come on, man.
He's a Sheffield United legend, but he's a Barnsley lad, isn't he? So it's you know, Chris Basham's from Newcastle. They all end up, you know, falling in love with your club, and I understand all that sort of thing. But What if Billy Sharp turns out to be a crap manager? Brilliant player. What if he turns out to be a crap manager?
Yeah, I'm going to say that's an harder thing to deal with.
You can't ever get a job because of who you were or who you are even. It's got to be on merit. So I'd rather have, somebody like a Kieran McKenna come in from Man United's system than Billy Sharp if Billy Sharp's only going to be a National League manager. Do you know what I mean? We can't always fall in love with the romance of it's got to be that. But I do think while ever Chris Wilder is the best man for the job, he should be trusted to do his job, keep him in that position, but we need to
agree with this,
him.
We'd have to sack him in first place anyway. And even a complete, well, I'm not a neutral, I'm a really, but even like complete neutrals could see that. Even people who don't want to admit it, there's no wonder that all Wednesday fans are shitting the pants now. It's because you've got a great manager for your club in.
Well, mate, you can imagine how we were feeling coming up to Derby. Derby's not far away, and
we will absolutely spank them now.
I think so.
You will. I don't know what ground's it at.
It's at Hillsborough first. I think. No, it's at ours first.
You're going to absolutely annihilate them.
I'll have a look actually, because you threw me then with that. But we wouldn't have done. But we say as I wouldn't have been confident. It's at Hillsborough first. It's at Hillsborough first in November.
And the only thing that I've got, because there's not many negatives. Like I'm publicly sitting here. I think he's a good manager for you. But the only thing that I would say is the body language of some of them lads in Ipswich game after 6 games were awful. Like especially from a defensive unit. You have made some new signings, but even ones that are there before just didn't look bothered. And I think Tanganga, especially from defensive side, were only one that looks like he gave a crap what were going on. A lot of them, especially Godfrey, my God. But
he were awful, weren't he, Godfrey?
He was terrible.
Awful. I took some stick for Godfrey because I'd backed him up till then, and I still will, obviously, but because I think there's a player in there, and I think he'll do well at the level eventually. But he were really poor against Ipswich. Philogene made him look daft every time he ran at him. Yeah, we're standing too far off him. I don't know whether this is a tactic, because it's something that we were critical of Sariki for as well.
He's not a right back.
He's played that majority of his career, though, hasn't he?
He played right centre back. He's not played a lot of right back.
He's played more at right back than he has centre back.
Really? In Everton?
Everton, he shifted over at Everton. He
looks like he looks like a midfielder that's been asked to do a job.
He's been poor. He's been really poor, and I think there's talk that we might move to 3 at the back, and I think for a right-sided centre back, he would fit the bill.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think I would be in favour of seeing that. Obviously, Wilder's played it before. He's most famous for playing the 3-5-2 overlapping centre halves. I don't think we'll overlap again, but we'll see. Because last time he were with us, we were playing 4-2-3-1. But in terms of players dropping their heads, that's been story all season, though, Cal. That was story at Bristol City. That were how we lost 4-1 rather than 2-1, because players' heads went down and they never recovered. And it's like they've not believed in what Sayers has had to say from start. And
but not one of them were Sellers as player, were they, at time? Bristol City game.
No, that's true. But it's when we played Reece Norrington Davis at centre half. That's how short we were.
Christ, yeah,
I know. But again, once you knocked 4-1 in first game at home, to a side you're expected to at least. You've just beat 3-0 twice in the last 2 competitive games you played. You're supposed to, it's a kick already, and then you go and you lose to Swansea and you lose to Millwall. These are teams that you're dropping points. It's not like we're going to Southampton and just getting done by 1. It's you're losing to teams that you're expected to at least turn up against and take some points off. So it's been really poor, mate. And I think nobody better than him to come in and galvanise them. Yeah. So like you say, I know what you're saying. It's a big job for him. But would you bet against Sheffield United winning at weekend now?
Absolutely not. You're an absolute banker.
Well, there you go then. So it's not that much of a problem then, is it? If everybody thinks
no, I agree. I don't know. I think I'm just looking too much into long rather than what's actually important right now, which is that you're bottom at league and crap.
The issues I think we're going to have is, or the issues we had last season were discipline under Wilder, because Gus Aimer got booked every other game, and it weren't.
You got fined a few times, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't just exactly. It weren't just in the game. It was fracas after the game and during games. Like I'm all for players not scrapping, but getting involved in a bit of argy-bargy. Fans tend to like that, don't they? Go on, give him a bit of stick. But we were doing it every other game at one point, and we got fined up to something like 750 grand. It were absolutely ludicrous because we kept doing it, mate. And so discipline is one. And then there were also a stat that came out that after 75 minutes, if we played game from 75 to 90, Sheffield United would be 16th in table because we dropped off that much. Fitness levels weren't where they needed to be at all. Leeds and Burnley were still first and second.
Weren't there a
and we were
problem
16th.
like before with Wilder, like fitness levels, like in previous times that you've had him?
Don't think so. No,
Weren't
not that jumps out and smacks me as obvious. When we've had players like George Baldock and Ender Stevens bombing up and down wing, they always amaze me in terms of how fit they were because they kept
Right.
going for a full 90. So it's never really been a tailed off concern, but it was last year. So whether that's a nutrition or a fitness program thing that we need to look at, I know Tom Little came in and that seems to have been a problem, you know, intermittently from around them sort of times. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see whether that continues to be an issue. But no danger of that understayers because we never got started. Near mine dropping off. So,
I'll tell you what, though, I do think your squad is definitely moulded more to a 5 at back, just with the type of players that you've got anywhere that's there. Like Burrows is a left wing back, like naturally.
left wing back. Sariki's a right wing back.
Yeah, you've got what 7 centre backs now. You've got loads after
It's ridiculous.
like international. What would your strongest 3 even be?
I'd
Tanganga, McGuinness.
say Tanganga, me, and then it's either McGuinness or Godfrey.
I'm trying to.
Ben me.
Ben Mee's centre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tanganga's right-footed.
No, Ben me would be left. Well, you'd want Ben me at middle because he's obviously the least mobile.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's
biggest
left-footed, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's left-footed, he's Ben me.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like, but then you can't have a right footer on left centre back. You can't go.
Not
left,
ideally, but McGuinness is what foot's McGuinness?
I think McGuinness is left. I think, but I'm not actually completely sure. What's Bindon? I can't remember what Bindon is.
Bindon's right foot, but can play on left as well, but not really in a 3. So,
but yeah, your squad's much more suited to that. Whoever you end up playing anyway, you've got some good options at centre half. But then it's like I still worry for you creating things, me, because even going back to the Wilder for last season, and I've said this loads of times, I didn't think you were actually that cracking in a lot of games, but I think you did very well to grind them out, and that's what good teams do. You didn't get 92 points. Yeah, you didn't get 92 points for laugh at the end of the day. You can't get lucky that many times, can you?
No, you can't. And I think that's what we've been lacking. We've been lacking that character and that belief, and it's been zapped out of us with Ruben Sayers in charge. It's been a shocking experiment, mate. Absolutely shocking. And it's been deflating. It's so bad. It's so bad where you go into games and you're thinking we're just going to get. We're not going to compete here, and it's demoralising. And now you go back in, and he's here again, and you think, yeah, that'll do.
So say like obviously if you've lost first 5, you got 90. You accumulated 92 points last season. You've obviously got a worse squad than last year. What
have we?
Come on.
Have we?
Come on.
Have we?
Yes.
Why? Because we've lost Vinny Souza.
Yeah. I think it all comes down to that. I think defensively you're miles better.
Well, maybe even it's an out then. What do you reckon?
No, because I don't think you'll truly dominate any game at middle at par, even against worse sides.
What even when Arblaster's back?
How long's that away?
November time.
Well, that's half your season gone.
No, not really.
If you could 30th of November, that's half your season gone almost.
Well, if it's 30th of November, then yeah, I'll give you that.
Even if Arblaster plays, what's your strongest middle then? Matos is going to play, I think. And I do quite like him.
It'll be Matos and Blaster, I think.
How small is that midfield?
It's pretty small.
I think you get bullied in middle at part some games. I do. I really do. I'm giving you your flowers here. I think you'll end up getting playoffs still. But I still think you are worse last season just because of the Souza presence not being there.
Yeah, but to be fair, Souza was an athlete and he did have a bit of presence, but he never used his body to dominate games. He was a superior athlete to some, so you could see him sprinting back and he'd win a tackle and stuff like that. I'm not trying to make excuses because he was a great player for us at this level. But I don't think it's everything. We do need more athletes, and we haven't recruited that way. So we're going to have to work around it, really. But when Arblaster's back, I think he gives us a real tool to break the lines in the middle. Something that we haven't had while he's been out of the team. We tried it with Gus Hamer, but he hasn't got the positional discipline to stay where he needs to be. He likes to be off and doing whatever he needs, and that's fine because that's what he should be doing. That's why he's better as a 10. But when you're playing alongside Siddy Peck and you leave Sidney Peck on his own at middle, you're going to get run over in midfield, and that's what's been happening to us. We've been getting absolutely ploughed through. And like you said, Matos will give us that a little bit of solidity now. I thought it looked all right first half against Ipswich.
Yeah,
So,
and I know we're just purely speculating here, but if you go 5 at back and you've got Pekar, 2 off Pekar, Blaster, Matos at middle at Park, I don't think you've got the numbers there for a lot of teams that could just put more in and just box you out really easily, especially because your wing backs aren't going to cut in. Burrows has never, well, you might think differently, but I've never thought of Burrows as somebody that could tuck in and play more centrally.
No.
Neither Sariki. So I just think you're going to lose a lot of battles at middle at Park if you're playing a 5 back and how short your midfield is.
So what gives you confidence that we'll climb table then if you think that's a big vulnerability for us?
The Wilder thing just in general, because like I said, I saw you loads of times last season not play rate cracking and get loads of points. So I think you could just nick anything from anywhere almost. But also your defense has been crap this season so far. But last season it were outstanding. First 12 games you conceded 2 goals, something ridiculous.
Harry Suter were a big part of that.
And I think you're superior this season defensively than what you were last. So I don't think you'll concede a lot of goals from Wilder coming in. I do slightly worry at top end of pitch, but also you're only 9 points off playoffs and we've got 42 games left, whatever it is. So
40, yeah. What do you reckon to Danny Ings coming in?
I like it, mate.
Yeah.
I know Wilder's going to like him and all, isn't he?
Yeah,
you can't go wrong with somebody like that. If you put ball on a plate from him box, you're scoring.
If it's me, I'd like to go 3 at back. I want to go 4 across middle with Burrows and Sariki as wing backs potentially, or Ogbenny. You could have Ogbenny as a wing back, and then I want Gus in the 10, and I want Ings and Campbell up front, and I think that causes some real problems.
Yeah, I like that. But then I just think, have you got the depth up front to play 2 strikers? Or else you got Cannon and who?
Oh no, he's not really done it, mate. He's not. Yeah, he's not.
No, he needs a loan, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Really?
He does. But you could also play Campbell up top and O'Hare and Gus behind him. And bring Ings on.
I guess I'm just not overwhelmed by your middle. That's what it keeps coming back to. So anyway, going back to it, you got 92 points last season. If you think you've got a similar level squad to last season and you've already lost 5, how many points? Say you need 75 to get in. Do you think you get 75 points from now?
Yeah. Yeah. I fancy
easily.
No, not easily. Not easily. I think we can't just dismiss the league and say, well, now Chris Wilder's back, we're going to walk it, because we're not. I think it's because I think like I was saying earlier, I think the worst teams have got better.
Yeah,
I also don't think there's a Leeds or a Burnley in there as well this season.
I agree with that as well.
I think it'll be tighter. I think the dispersal of points will be less across the league. So I think 90 points will probably get you promoted automatically this season. I'm not sure we make that, but I think we'll. I think we'll come. Well, why are you laughing?
You're not sure you'll make 90 points after losing 5 in a row.
Yeah. Well, stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened. No, maybe not. I think we've a strong chance of making playoffs. I'd back us to make playoffs.
Oh yeah, I agree. I might put you on actually.
3-1 to make playoffs.
Is it that ain't bad at all? I might go for that Barnsley double.
Yeah, or 12-1 to get promoted.
I'm not that confident. Well, you're going to lose. You'll end up in playoffs. So
we'll play Barnsley next year, will we?
Of course. Well, we're going to come in with golden shirts because we've got 100 points lifting trophy. I'll tell you what, actually, I was going to say it to you earlier. I think if you get into playoffs this time, you'd win it with Wilder. Yeah. And I don't even care who's in it. I just think the story would be written.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I don't
think if you get playoffs, you'll go.
I won't repeat this until after the playoffs are done now, but I think that there's a strong possibility that could happen because it feels like it's meant to happen, doesn't it? Mm. And Chris Wilder's the one that takes us there. This is my favourite episode so far.
Oh, God, imagine that.
Oh, mate, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, yes, mate. Anything else you want to cover before we depart?
Could look through some comments if you fancy it.
Let's do that. Sonny Glasby says, evening, Jimmy and Sir Dingle. I hope you're well. Can we praise how Doncaster has risen from the ashes to become the bigger city and club than Barnsley? Really hope to see them in the champ. Up the Ramble Football Club. Like and subscribe to both. Sonny Glasby of Glasby's Palette, sponsor of Ramble FC.
Is he a Donny boy or a Sheffield United fan?
He's a Sheffield United boy.
So what's he about Donny for?
He's a blade. He's just... Look, we've got Billy Sharp playing for him. He respects Donny, what Donny have done to become such a powerhouse in League One. and he thinks they might pick Barnsley this year.
He's going to start paying me, or we're not bringing him up anymore.
Ollie Johnson says we're going to batter Wednesday tomorrow, 4-1 to Town, 0-0 incoming. Oh, Grimsby.
No, Grimsby
boy.
Cup.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah, I've just seen someone say it's all about Wilder. Of course it is. It's obviously going to be about Wilder. We've done half an hour on it. It's the biggest thing that's happened in this region. We could be like Radio Sheffield and sit and talk about Chancery for an hour, wanking Wednesday off. My God.
Carl Fowler's mother-in-law says, just to answer your question, Jimmy, I'm absolutely buzzing. Can't wait for Saturday. Atmosphere will be amazing. Up the Blades. Yeah, absolutely right. Up the Blades. Ben Brunton reckons Leeds and Sunderland both stay up.
No,
stay up.
Leeds, no chance at all. They've got nothing up front. They've scored 1 penalty in 4 games.
Surely they can't chuck money at the players now, but if they sack Farker soon, it depends who they get in. I know you're writing them off early doors, but a new manager can change as we are the evidence of. A new manager can change absolutely everything. The mood about the place, everything.
I don't think any manager's getting a tune out of that forward line. Me.
Michael says Championship is complete trash this season from what I've watched. Not a single team looks good enough to even get 10 points in the Prem. It's wide open. Great move to bring Wilder back. Now go. Yes.
Yeah, but we are only 5 games in as well. So it's hard for teams to stamp their place so quickly in it, I think, as well.
Yeah, agree with that.
I do think Ipswich will kick on after that game against you.
Yeah.
And I don't even think they were that good.
No, I don't. Philogene were class, but he were meant to look class as well, to be fair. I reckon out of everyone, Hamer is the happiest, probably chucked Sayers' diet out the window and got a kebab off Wilder. Absolutely right, he will have done. Michael agrees with whatever Tommy says. Oh, glad I'm not a Charlton fan heading up there next weekend. Yeah,
yeah. Because they weren't good against Millwall either.
No, I know. Jimmy, it happened against Leeds. You guys looked incredible for the first 30 during that second match with Leeds. Then fitness levels dropped and Leeds got 2 late goals. Yeah, they did. It were a theme for us last year that we would come out of the blocks and start well in a lot of games, really, and then fade. And is
that just a squad depth thing though, or is it a fitness thing?
Well, we tended to use alt subs, so it's got to be a bit of both, maybe. To be fair, I think we've got a better squad this year. I know you've laughed at that, and I think Vinny Sousa's a huge loss. But I think you look at some options we can bring off bench now. I think we've got a real good squad at this level. So Michael agrees with you. Leeds struggle without Ampadu. Middle of the park with Rothwell, Gruev, Tanaka got bullied at times in the middle. Pompey's an example. Millwall and QPR as well, in terms of the size of the midfield being a problem.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Have you played Millwall already? You haven't you? You lost.
Move on.
Okay. No, I'm genuinely questioning. Yeah, but
well,
certain sides that are just like, and I think to an
got
extent,
bullied by Millwall
this weekend. Yeah, teams like that just are there to be scrappy and battle. I think you will struggle in games like that.
Yeah. Fully don't know.
You're just not having it.
No, I think I don't fear Charlton now at weekend. I would have done if Sayers had been in charge. I'd been saying, I cannot believe this. But
I think that caliber of team, we're middle.
All right, we'll see. I'll have a little bet that we beat them if you want to go against it.
Well, I've said absolutely you're going to win at weekend.
You've just said they might cause some problems. Charlton were a much better team against Millwall. The sending off changed the game. There you go. Leeds might get something out of their forwards if they get a manager that showers.
Makes a grease ball in fart.
But I doubt it'll be enough, in my opinion. Who've Leeds got up front? They've got Piroux and Calvert-Lewin.
That Okafor from AC Milan.
And is he any good? I haven't seen much of him.
I've got no to
go. This is it. Really. So they play one up top, and that's their 3, isn't it, to rotate.
But Connor's not very keen on that Okafor.
Right. Okay. Well,
at all. And I think they were after proper striker all the way through, and they've ended up with Calvert-Lewin, whose best goal tally in the last 4 years is about 6.
He's poor, isn't it?
They're miles off up top end of pitch, miles off.
Yeah, that is where they will get bitten in it. Really, yeah. I think
you can't afford to miss. He had a right sitter for an header. I don't know if you've seen highlights at Leeds game.
Yeah,
about 7 yards out, free header, and it's straight at him. You have a proper striker, and you come away with something there.
Bamford. If only they had somebody
I'll
like
tell you what, I
Barnsley.
take Bamford at Barnsley if he went on 80 grand a week.
Zach says, I think Cov, Ipswich, Leicester are pushing for top 2. Birmingham and Blades and Co in playoffs. Yeah, I don't
disagree with
think
that.
you're far off there, to be honest.
Coventry
Leicester might have a points deduction to think about.
Yeah.
But so that might knock them down to playoff contention, but I don't think you're far off. Michael
Coventry
says,
could be right up there.
yeah, absolutely. And like you said, Ipswich might kick on now.
Yeah.
Last one we'll read is from Michael. He says, Aronson started right wing, worse than last year up front. We're missing Solomon.
That's true. I do think the worse than last year up front.
Yeah, it's...
They've strengthened your right places first, haven't you? Because you don't want to be like you and concede 130 goals or whatever it were. Like you've got to address that first to give yourself any chance at even picking a point up. But you can't win games if you've got nobody at top end.
What's happened to goalkeeper? Is he injured?
Yeah, they had Darlow in, didn't they? But it was man at match by sound.
Yeah, no. Well, that's what Connor was saying towards the end, weren't it? Darlow's got to be man at match. He's got to be man at match. And then it was that.
But like, do you know what I mean? How can they expect to stay up when your keeper's man at match away at Fulham? Where are you going to get wins from?
Yeah,
Miles off.
Miles off it. Right.
Miles off.
Thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. Very much appreciated. Always enjoy these streams. Cal, anything else you want to say to the people before we let them go?
Thank you very much for being here, guys, on both channels. Make sure you like and subscribe to both. Kiss.
Love that. All right. And we'll
Catch you all.
Catch you all in a bit. Love you all. Kiss.
In a bit. Goodbye.
Goodbye.